परिवर्तितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मायं तदान्ति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलम् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं स्वावधूतं परिजनासाहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपाद सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुश्रुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम
राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Shashwin. Can you do the verse for today? It's Canto 2, Chapter 2, and verse number 1.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayam नष्टप्राणेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोक्तिर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी श्रीशुक उवाच एवं पुराणधारणायात्मयोनि नष्टं स्मृतिं प्रत्यवारुध्यतु सत् तथा ससर्जे ममोघदृष्टिर् यत्ताप्ययात् प्राग्वासाय बुद्धि हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shashwin. You can do the word to word.
Hare Krishna,
Shri.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna,
Can
Mataji.
sorry, Prabhuji, is Mataji okay because she's not joining?
Yes, Mataji, I gave a little bit late information, but let me check with her.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Can someone do the word to word? when I'm checking with Mataji?
I am okay. Can I do it, Prabhuji?
Yes,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, Evam, just in the same way, Pura, prior to the manifestation of the cosmos, Dhara Naya, by such a conception, Atma Yonihi of Brahmaji, Nashtam, lost, Sumritim, remembrance, Pratyavaruddhya, by regaining consciousness, to start because of appeasing the Lord. Tatha, thereafter, Sasarja created Idam, this material world. Amoga Drishti, one who has attained clear vision. Yatha, as. Apyayat, created. Prak, as formerly. Vyavasaya, ascertained. Buddhihi, intelligence. The translation, Sri Shukadev Goswami said, formerly, prior to the manifestation of the cosmos, Lord Brahma, by meditating on the Virat Rupa, regained his lost consciousness by appeasing the Lord. Thus, he was able to rebuild the creation as it was before. So, can I continue with the purport, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Thank you. Purport. The example cited herein of Sri Brahmaji is one of the forgetfulness. Brahmaji is the incarnation of one of the mundane attributes of the Lord. Being the incarnation of the passion mode of material nature, he is empowered by the Lord to generate the beautiful material manifestation. Yet, due to his being one of the numerous living entities, he is apt to forget the art of his creative energy. This forgetfulness of the living being, beginning from Brahma down to the lowest insignificant ant, is a tendency which can be counteracted by meditation on the Virat Rupa of the Lord. This chance is available in the human form of life, and if a human being follows the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam and begins to meditate upon the Virat Rupa, then the revival of his pure consciousness and counteraction of the tendency to forget his eternal relationship with the Lord can follow simultaneously. As soon as this forgetfulness is removed, the Vyavasaya Buddhi, as mentioned here and in the Bhagavad Gita 2.41, follows at once. This ascertained knowledge of the living beings leads to loving service to the Lord, which the living being requires. The kingdom of God is unlimited. Therefore, the number of the assisting hands of the Lord is also unlimited. The Bhagavad Gita 13.14 asserts that the Lord has his hands, legs, eyes, and mouth in every nook and corner of his creation. This means that the expansions of differentiated parts and parcels called jivas or living entities are assisting hands of the Lord, and all of them are meant for rendering a particular pattern of service to the Lord. The conditioned soul, even in the position of a Brahma, forgets this by the influence of illusory immaterial energy generated out of false egoism. One can counteract such false egoism by invoking God consciousness. Liberation means getting out of the slumber of forgetfulness and becoming situated in the real loving service of the Lord, as exemplified in the case of Brahma. The service of Brahma is a sample of service in liberation, distinguished from the so-called altruistic services full of mistakes and forgetfulness. Liberation is never enacted, but service without human mistakes. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept humble obeisances. All Krishna
pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much. Om Jnanatigrantlasya Jnananshana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी वर्षाति देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृण्वता स्वागता कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनहृदयन्तस्तौर्यपित्राणि पितुमुक्ति सुहृत्सुतं नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवतसेवा भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्ति भवति नष्टिके Hare Krishna, everyone. So today we are starting the second canto, second chapter, and first verse. So it's going really fast, I believe. Hope you are all understanding what's going on. But I thought just maybe one or two verses we will go over from the previous chapter to kind of see the continuation for today's chapter. Sorry, here, dear devotees, my son. Anyways, so we will get started, dear devotees, with the chapter that we have for today, and also go through some of the things that we have learned already. So, if you're looking at second canto, second chapter, that is what we're going to start today. So, till now, if you look at it, what is the theme? So, Sukadeva Goswami, he's saying for the Gragametis, there are so many things to hear. And these are not meant for people who want to realize the truth. That means for the sadhaka, this is not needed. Whatever Grahametis are hearing, that is not needed for a sadhaka. Why? Because it is the waste of their time, right? Whatever they are hearing, what they are hearing, probably something that is prajalpa. In the daytime, they will work, and the nighttime, they will just sleep. But this is just, according to Sukadeva Goswami, it's a waste of time. And they are seeing in their own, in front of their eyes, the degradation or finishing of the own relatives. The relatives are all dying, and all the material things, they are getting finished. But still they are not able to understand the temporariness of this material world. And then we have seen yogis who cannot concentrate on the spiritual form of the Paramatma, they worship or they get attracted to the Virat Roop form of the Lord. Right? They meditate on the Virat Roop. 2.1.20 is saying, whose mind is affected by Rajas and Tamas. Their heart, they will have to clean their heart by the process of dharana. Expert yogi, after meditating on the Virat Rupa, meditating on the Antaryami of the Virat Rupa, then through that process, meditating on the Virat Rupa first, once they attain the perfection, that's when they meditate on the Antaryami of the Virat Rupa. What is happening through that process is heart is getting cleaned. That means they are getting freed from this Rajas and Tamas, right? Then Parikshit inquires. He is asking Dharana. One should meditate on the auspicious object. So what is that object? How am I supposed to do that? He's asking all those questions, isn't it? And Parikshit also poses this question of what should not be chanted, heard, or remembered. Second question is what should be chanted, heard, or remembered. So the person who is going to leave the body, what should be heard by that person? What should be meditated upon by the person? What should be remembered by that person? This is all from previous chapter. And then 2.1.16 to 21 tells about the Ashtanga yoga process, the 8 angas, right? And the rajas and tamas is removed. How? In a neophyte's case, in a neophyte yogi's case, how it's removed? As we said, due to meditation on the Virat Roop, that rajas and tamas is slowly getting removed. And then we also saw the planetary systems as the limbs of the Virat Roop. They are all representation of the limbs of the Virat Roop. And then the 30th sloka, you would have seen what is the advantage of meditating on the Virat Roop. I think, I just want to go over a little bit here, maybe 39th sloka, but just to kind of give an overview. So after describing the Dharana Shreya, that is the object of meditation for this yogi who meditates upon the Virat Roop, and he's been asked to meditate on the different limbs of the Virat Roop, Sukadev Goswami is again telling about what? Bhakti process. He initially told about the Bhakti process from 1 to 11 slokas from previous chapter, and from 16 to 21. He's saying, see, meditating on the Paramatma is what is the ultimate, he says. Because Virat Roop meditation, it helps you to come out of Rajas and Tamas. But meditating on the Paramatma is the ultimate. Right? That is when you can get into the abode of the Lord. So now, so this is the process of bhakti, how important it is. It's being spoken in the verse number 20. Bhakti process is very easy. In the 39th verse, Sukadev Goswami is telling this expert yogi who has become an expert on meditating on the Virat Roop. So he's saying this person who's meditating, who has perfected the meditation on Virat Roop, what is the kind of feeling for this devotee? That is something we will try to understand. So the 39th verse has to be understood so that we are able to continue along in the verse that we have for today. I thought, it's a pretty long verse. Many commentaries are there for that verse. I'm thinking we will go through that verse in detail. So for now, we understand the previous history. Parikshit inquired about Virat Roop, not because he wanted to do meditation, but out of curiosity. The curiosity is what is the reason for why Parikshit asked this question. And Prabhupada wrote in one commentary that we read the meditation on Virat Roop, one can make small progress. Devotional attitude or the service attitude is required for one to make that kind of progress also. Even a small progress, how we are making, not just by the meditation on the Virat Roop, by including this aspect of devotional attitude or service attitude into the process, that is when one is able to make any kind of progress, even in the form of Virat Roop. And then, in the 6th verse, the previous chapter we saw, even karmis, yogis, jnanis, ante narayana smriti, that is the real benefit for everyone, right? So this is ante narayana smriti is everything is Narayana. That is the point. The conclusion is everyone, regardless of the position, should hear Krishna Katha. See, Sukadev Goswami then goes further to give an example of an impersonalist who got attracted to Krishna Katha. That is he himself. So he goes to say, whatever position one may be, one should hear about Krishna from authorities and chant about Krishna. So this is the conclusion. Harir Namanu Kirtanam does not happen, then what is the benefit of this long life that is given to us? It is better to have a moment of complete consciousness than long life without Harer Namanu Kirtanam. It means if Harer Namanu Kirtanam doesn't happen, there is no benefit of long life. So even if you have hundreds of years with you, without this Narayana Smriti, nothing, Narayana Kirtanam, without this Harer Namanu Kirtanam, nothing is, it's of no use. But if there is a short life while chanting Hare Krishna, then that is better. And that's why he brought the story of Katwang Maharaj. He had a bit of time left before his death, but then he remembered the Lord and used his remaining time. Right? And then verse 11 spoke about the glorification of Nama Kirtan. Nama Kirtan is the king. It is considered as the king. And continuous Kirtan is the best. And it's beyond Gunadosha. Means it's not dependent on time, place, or circumstance. And the main thing is, it can be performed by whom? It can be performed by a sadhaka. It can be performed even by siddha. Both can do. See, for us, bhakti is the means. And bhakti is, it's the, what do you call it? You don't stop bhakti after you perfect the process. You continue it. Like, when it comes to a jnana yoga, the jnani, he can leave the aspect of jnana, but he can't leave the aspect of bhakti in order to get, or in order to merge into this Brahmajyoti. But we continue bhakti even after prema, even after we reach the abode of the Lord. We continue this bhakti. Bhakti it's a never-ending process. So Sukadeva Goswami is stressing the value of life by giving an example of Katwang Maharaj. And the way he is stressing that, Parikshit Maharaj, you have only 7 days. You should focus on the attention on Narayana Smriti. So he is saying he just doesn't have one muhurta. He doesn't have one muhurta, but you see now Katwang Maharaj had only one muhurta and he made use of that life. But you have 7 days, Parikshit, and you can engage. And then comes the process of Ashtanga Yoga explanation. This is kind of a very, very quick overview of what we have seen. So now, as I told you, I would like to incorporate, looking into the verse number 39 a little bit more, so we are able to kind of go with the flow. So this is what I would do. So let's just go and explore verse number 39. And then I think we have seen the other verses from last class in pretty much in depth. So I'm thinking going through verse number 39 because it's a big verse can help us understand the context a little bit more. So just give me 1 minute here to go. So the translation of Srila Prabhupada in the 39th verse talks about the fact one should concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who alone distributes himself in so many manifestations. Just as an ordinary person creates thousands of manifestations in dreams, one must concentrate the mind on him, the only blissful absolute truth. Otherwise, one will be misled and will cause his own degradation. So, here a lot of things are being spoken, and so the one important point which is brought about, I think, in the Krama Sandarbha by Jiva Goswami is, so Prabhupada talks about this aspect of dream. And then, we will try to understand what Prabhupada is talking about that in the process of dream. And then we will also try to understand what is this expert yogi trying to do. So we'll try to understand the bhav of the expert yogi, and we will also try to understand this aspect of dream. Okay, so when it comes to dream, see, if you look at it, in the dream, so many objects are created, isn't it? And who is creating those objects? In the dream, many objects are created, right? So the mind is creating or Jivatma is creating? So if you were to ask this question, right? The pretty tricky question, but I just thought. Yes, yes.
एक रूम ने चलो ऐसे और ऊपर भी रूम.
So the question is, who's creating the objects in the dream?
Is it the mind, Mataji?
It's the mind. Okay. So the mind is creating or Jivatma is creating? And we all, as to Mataji's point, Jivatma is not creating. Why? Why Jivatma is not creating? Jivatma means the soul, right? Why the soul is not creating?
Jivatma is completely spiritual, but it is covered by Maya, which is my mind is Maya. So I mean, Jivatma is not connected to the mind. It is an external covering. That's what I feel, Mataji. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So the thing is, Jivatma, to Prabhuji's point, Jivatma is separate from the mind. Yes. Jivatma is only an observer, dear devotees. He's only observing whatever we are thinking. We are thinking, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm nothing. Jivatma is just observing everything, right? It's an observer. The soul is an observer. Jivatma means the soul. Soul is just observing the experiences, whatever is happening. And the mind is not creating. I mean, the thing is, I'll just explain you. The thing is, Lord is the creator. How we can say Lord is the creator? So, the thing is, those whatever is there in the form of impressions, it's all created by the Lord. Lord is the cause of all causes. So, to that point, if you don't say Lord is the creator, then what will happen? Lord is not a creator of everything. So that's why we are putting the Vaishnava Siddhanta to say that Lord is the cause of all causes and he is creating the objects in the dream also. I'll come back to the point of mind also. So the objects are created with the impressions that are there of the Jiva only. Meaning, that is why since the objects are created by the Lord, so they are there. They are there for the time being. And that's why based upon the karma, you will be getting different objects in the dream and you are owning them. And this Jivatma is experiencing them. So, example is, if you are having a karma that you can have a married life for only one day, and that also you cannot have a physical connection with your wife for that day. Okay. So then Lord, what he will do? He will create one woman in your dream. And you will be having a marriage for that day. And it's finished. Karma is one day marriage, that is finished, that is over. So the karma is finished by the dreams. You may have a big accident, but the karma may sometimes be finished by the dreams only. Yes, because in the dream we are feeling the suffering or not. Sometimes the tiger is chasing you in the dream. The body is sweating. You will get the same pain when the tiger is chasing you in the dream. So whatever fear you get, the fear you get is in the dream. It's not necessary that everything, you have to experience. Even in dreams, we can experience the karma that we are supposed to go through. So, in that way, Lord is the cause of all causes, meaning he also creates that object in the dream for us based upon the karma that we have. So, karma is like, because say for example, somebody is having a dream of chasing a snake or something. Because in the last life, he was probably with the snakes. That's why he's getting this kind of dream. If someone is a demigod in previous life, he'll be getting the dreams of flying in the sky. If you are a hunter, you will be having a bow and arrow in your dream, and you'll be like riding a horse or something like that. If you are a thief or a murderer, you'll be killing persons in the dream. Are you able to understand this point, dear devotees? I just wanted to clarify before we just proceed further. That how these dreams, the objects that come in the dream, also have a relevance based on the karma and based on what we have gone through in our previous life. We get that kind of objects in the dream. And those objects are created by the Lord only. Without his sanction, how we can have that objects in the dream? This is the point I wanted to reinstate. Any questions here?
Yes, Mataji. That means that when we have this kind of dream, that means that we are, our karma is being burnt.
Yeah, so Mataji, for a devotee, there is no karma, Mataji. I mean, the thing is, the karma, the impressions are there, but karma is taken care of by the Lord, because the devotee's surrenderance to the Lord makes, so it's only Krishna who's making those things happen in our life. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, lot of verses, Acharyas talk about this point, that for a devotee, there is no karma. Of course, it's different from not having karma vasanas, because the impressions are there. The impressions tell you to go in a particular direction. But when it comes to karma as such, that is taken care of by the Lord. Meaning, he gives you a particular circumstance in life, and that is for our progress in devotional service. We just have to understand that whatever happens in life is Krishna's mercy, that he wants me to learn something. Tattenu kampam susamichamanu. So anything that happens in a devotee's life is only for us to learn and remember and understand, okay, this is what, I need to become closer to Krishna. He might be teaching something through that. But again, he's not forgiving us from offenses. For offenses, we have to go through what we have to go through. But when it comes to karma, he can give us karma also. The same karma, he could give it to us. But Krishna now has control of a devotee. It's not like hard and fast rule, like how a materialist functions. Yes, if he does this, he gets pious credits. If he does this, he gets punya, he gets pap, like that. It's for a devotee, it is different. Because we are under the mercy of Krishna, we have given our life and surrendered to Krishna. To the extent we have surrendered, to that extent, obviously Krishna's hands will be seen. I hope that makes sense, Mataji. But again, karma vasanas, the impressions remain. That needs to be purified only by the process of bhakti. So you can act in a way according to what your impression says. But that impressions, instead of you entering into the vrittis of the mind, where we have to enter? We have to enter into the vrittis of bhakti vrittis. Because that is what a devotee has to consciously try and aim for. If a thought of enviousness comes to us, where we have to go? We have to enter, oh, this is not something Krishna wants us to have. This quality is very demoniac. It is going to take us away from Krishna, Pratikulyasya Arjuna. So I need to enter into bhakti vrittis to understand and get away from this quality of, for that devotee association is required, Krishna Tata hearing is required, but slowly we have to enter into the vrittis of the bhakti and not the vrittis of the mind. The vrittis of the mind, if you are going to enter, then you are doomed. You will always do wrong things, because the function of the mind is to take you away from Krishna. Because we have so many unfavorable impressions that will just take us away from Krishna. So the point, that is not removed. That has to be cleansed and purified. But the part I'm talking about is the karma that we have. That is not there for a devotee. That's what I'm trying to say. Hope that
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, dear devotees. So now, this is the aspect of the... Yeah, go ahead.
Just to ask, does this mean also that the suffering is not really the pain, but it is the fear?
Yes, the suffering is the mercy. Suffering is the suffering for a devotee, it's the mercy of the Lord. Because through that suffering, Krishna is helping us understand there is something more to this. Either he's helping you understand, you have to learn to be patient, you have to be learned to tolerant, you have to be able to think about Krishna even during the time of suffering. Those things are so subtle. Only a devotee will understand according to the circumstance that they are put in. But either ways, happiness or sorrow doesn't matter for a devotee. What is the matter? What is the happiness or sorrow is not a problem. Anything can come anytime. But whether we remember Krishna or not during the time when we are happy and when we are sad, that is the point. The real fall down for a devotee is when he doesn't remember Krishna. If he doesn't remember Krishna, that is a fall down. Not that he sorrow, that is a fall down. No, for a devotee, that is not a fall down. Krishna is just helping us to understand something in life. And at that time, are we remembering Krishna? Are we taking his shelter? Are we depending on him? So too much lamentation is not good. Why? Because that is deviating you from the path of bhakti. So are you going so much into the ignorance due to that particular misery in your life that you're forgetting Krishna? That is fall down. When you forget Krishna during the misery, that is a fall down for a devotee. Okay, the fall down as such is not a problem. I mean, the misery as such is not a problem at all. Of course, it's easy to say. But each devotee will have a particular realization that comes out of a problem. You're into so much of bodily consciousness. He'll make you understand this. You're so much connected to the body. You're so much attached to material things. This is why you're feeling this misery. Why we are miserable? Because we are attached to the object. Because we have a fear of losing that object. What is misery for a person? When somebody criticizes you, somebody demeans you, your ego is hurt. Oh, How can he say that? I am such and such a person. I am CEO of a company. I am a manager of such and such company. How can this person criticize me in this way? So what is happening here, dear devotees? Your ego is affected. He's helping you understand. Oh my God, see, why you're lamenting so much? Why you're crying so much? It's because you're attached to your body. You're attached to your mind. How can we come out of these dualities? When we remember Krishna, when we understand Krishna, everything that has happened in my life is due to your mercy, meaning you approved it and you sanctioned it, meaning there must be some reason for that. And you just give me that intelligence to understand why this has happened to me. What is the learning I should get from this? Then our life will be very peaceful, dear devotees. Anything can happen, you will not shatter. You will not lament because you have Krishna's surrenderance with you very strongly. Who can disturb you? Who can take care of you? Who can take you away from that lotus feet? Nobody. Even distress, happiness, nothing can just take you away. The firm determination that Krishna is my protector, Krishna is my maintainer, Krishna is everything for me. If this faith is there, nothing can haunt us. Be it whatever comes in our life, we just take it as a mercy of Krishna. Help me understand what I should learn and what I should correct, and I will do that. Just give me that intelligence alone, through the association of devotees, through the association of Shastras, through the mercy of Guru Maharaj. Then everything should be okay, dear devotees. Of course, it's very hard, but slowly we will come to an understanding that whatever happens is only the mercy of Krishna. Okay? Prahlad Prabhu, did you get that?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now, we will be talking about the 39th verse, I said, right? And here, this person, he is an expert yogi now, because till 38, we've seen about the person who's meditating on the Virat Roop, and advantages of Virat Roop was also spoken in the verse number 38. Now, this person is, so this person is being spoken here is an expert yogi, meaning the expert yogi, this expert yogi is able to meditate on the complete Virat Roop, and whatever is experienced by the Virat Roop, anything experienced by the Virat Roop is also experienced by this expert yogi. Okay, this is the point that is being talked about. This yogi who is expert in Virat meditation experiences whatever the Virat Roop is experiencing. Okay, if you know, the sum total is the Virat Roop, and that is experienced, whatever that Virat Roop is experiencing, that expert yogi is also experiencing that. So, say for example, the person is dreaming. He's having numerous objects, so many objects, like so many people, but the dreamer is what he's doing. He's only watching everyone. The same way, this expert yogi, is anything happening in the Virat body, he's just experiencing that, or he's seeing that. Whatever is happening in the body of the Virat, this expert yogi is seeing that. Just like a dreamer, he is watching everyone. He's just observing everyone. You're able to understand. That is the point that Jiva Goswami is clarifying here. The person who has, we are not talking about a neophyte yogi now. This person is an experienced yogi, and that's why he has become an observer. He is experiencing whatever the Virat Roop is able to, whatever is happening to the body of the Virat Roop, he is able to experience that. The point that we need to understand here, devotees, is this is only in one Brahmanda we are talking about, right? Virat Roop in one Brahmanda, not millions of Brahmandas. The Lord is having the capacity, in the millions of Brahmandas. Whatever is happening, the Lord is able to watch. But the yogi, this particular yogi is able to witness this only for that particular Virat. You're able to understand. So similarly, you see, now if you have become an expert of meditating on the Virat, then anything happening in the body of the Virat, you are also able to experience. Again, he is not the Lord. This expert yogi, he can be the Lord because he is able to experience whatever is happening. Does he become God? No. Lord means millions of Brahmandas. He's watching all of those. He's observing all of those. But this yogi, he cannot go beyond this Brahmanda. This point I need you to understand, dear devotees. Are you all clear what I'm trying to tell you? Because we can't mistake this Virat Rupa meditator to be a Lord. Why? Because Lord is able to watch millions and millions of Brahmandas and be an observer on those. But is this Virat yogi able to do that in the millions of Brahmandas? Or it's just the one Virat that he can see? It's just this one Virat he can see and observe. Okay, dear devotees? So this is the point that is being spoken in the Kramasandarbha by Jiva Goswami. That this Virat Rupa, he is becoming an experienced Virat Rupa. I mean, he's able to experience whatever is happening in the body of the Virat Rupa. But again, the point is we should not compare him to the Lord, because Lord is able to see and observe millions of Brahmatas, but not this Virat Rupa meditator. Okay. So the purport also says one should concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who alone distributes himself in so many manifestations, just as ordinary persons create thousands of manifestations in dreams. One must concentrate the mind on him, the only all blissful absolute truth. Otherwise, one will be misled and will cause his own degradation. He also says in the verse, the process of devotional service is indicated by Shukadev Goswami. He tries to impress upon that instead of diverting our attention to several branches of self-realization, we should concentrate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the supreme object of realization, worship and devotion. So now, ultimately, after worshipping the Virat Rup, what are we supposed to meditate? We are supposed to meditate on the Antaryami of the Virat, which is a beautiful form, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So the need, what is the need of doing the worship of Virat when you are directly able to meditate on the Shyamasundar form of the Lord? That is what is the question Srila Prabhupada is posing. What is the problem? Like this, Sukadev Goswami also said previously, right? Sutta Goswami also said like this, not the same point, but he said in the chapter, Atapumbir Dvijashreshta Varnashrama Vibhagasaha. In that verse, and also he's saying Tat Shattadanam Munaya Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya. Before that also he said Dharma Swanishtita Pumsam Vishwakshena Katashviyaha Mudpadayet Yatiratim Shrameyevahi Kevalam. So if you do any dharma, that should lead to what? That should lead to getting taste in Krishna Katha. If you follow any dharma perfectly, say Varnashrama dharma you are following perfectly, then it should lead to getting into the taste of hearing Krishna Katha. So if you are hearing all the Vedas and contemplating on it, finally, then the final realization is the object of the Vedas, that is Vasudeva, and you start worshipping on him. So all the processes, if you look at it, it's finally leading to what? Hearing Krishna Katha and understanding that Vasudeva is the object of that Vedas that we are talking about. So getting that taste in Krishna Katha, that is the final goal. So the point that is being raised by our acharyas here is, instead of perfecting dharma and getting that ruchi to hear Krishna Katha, why don't you directly hear Krishna Katha? Right? Why don't you directly start doing the process of devotional service? You're able to understand. So this is the message. Why you're going through this indirect route, and then finally, the ultimate goal is then you understand, oh my God, that is to glorify Krishna, to hear Krishna, to develop ruchi, to hearing the glories of Krishna. If this is the ultimate, then why don't you directly jump into devotional service rather than going through this path of perfection in dharma and then developing that interest? So in 1.2.14, Tasmat Ekena Manasa, that verse, there he says, therefore with one pointed attention, one should constantly hear about, glorify, remember the personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the devotees. He's saying ultimately all dharmas, all the duties, everything should be leading to the taste in Krishna Katha. Then the point is, why don't you hear that directly? Instead of practicing all these and gradually getting taste, let us start hearing. then what would happen? Hridayantastohi abhadrani. The knot, the bondage to this material world will be cut by that. Your entanglement to this material world, it will be cut by that knot. Right? So that is what is the point. Meaning, with a sword in hand, an intelligent man can cut through the binding knots of reactionary work by remembering the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to this message? 1.2.15. That says that. Karma granti nibandanam chidanti kovidastasya kona kuryat katharatim. Kona kuryat. Who will not do? Who will not get the taste for the Krishna Katha? After hearing, there is so much advantage to that. Because it is going to cut the binding knots of reactionary work. Who will not do that? Who will not develop taste to Krishna Katha? Kona Kuryat. Who will not do that? Instead of doing the dharma and becoming perfect, finally it should lead to Katharatim. Same way, here in this chapter also, Sukadev Goswami is saying, hey, you are meditating on the Virat Roop and you are purifying the heart. And finally, whom are you meditating? If you look at it, you are meditating on the Antaryami of the Virat Rupa. Isn't it? Directly meditate on the Antaryami. You are going through an indirect route. Why don't you directly? The point is, there is so much benefit to doing devotion, dear devotees. That is the point. So I'll also tell you more things on that. Then the thing, see, for example, if you're doing the dharma and you're waiting for the perfection to attain in that process of dharma that you're following, be it varnashram karma or whatever, and then you're developing the katha routine, katha, the Krishna katha, ruchi in katha, Krishna katha, which is the goal. Why don't you take that up now? Start hearing Krishna katha now. Through that process, what will happen? There are so many advantages. 1.2.15, material, the karma granthi, the reactionary things that are binding you in this material world, that is going to be finished. So who will not do that? So when you are meditating on the Virat, what will happen to you? You are going to get so many powers. What are the powers? Ashta Siddhis, Anima, Lagima, Mahima. So, and through this, what is going to happen? You're going to get deviated. So once again, these siddhis are coming to you. By doing this Virat Roop meditation, siddhis are coming to you. And so a person, there is a chance for this person to get deviated, isn't it? If siddhis come to you, who will not reject? Who will reject? Some money is coming to you. Are you going to reject that? No, right? Oh, let it come. I'm just happy. I can take it. So here Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport this point. Self-realization, as it were, offering a fight for the eternal life against the material struggle for existence, and therefore by the illusory grace of eternal energy, the yogi or devotee is faced with so many allurements which can entangle a fighter again in the bondage of material existence. Yogi can attain miraculous success in material achievements such as anima and lagima, by which one can become more minute than a minutest, or lighter than the lightest. That's what these siddhis do, right? You can become the lighter of the lightest, you can become minute of the minutest. You may achieve so many benedictions in the shape of wealth and women. So these material siddhis are coming, the ashta siddhis are coming to you. So what Prabhupada is saying, oh my God, you are having a very great chance to get deviated, my dear devotee, my dear Virat Roop meditator. Once again, you are going to come back to the samsara. By getting these siddhis, once again, what will happen to you? You are going to come to this material world and you have to enjoy this. That is why it's not easy. Like following the dharma and impressing the Hari, it is leading to what? The taste for Krishna Katha. So that is why here what is recommended? You should directly worship the Supreme Lord. Instead of worshipping the Virat, you directly meditate on the Supreme Lord. You directly do take up this process of devotional service. That is what is going to help you. After hearing Virat Roop's explanation, my God, so much meditation is not necessary, one will realize. The best thing we have to do is directly do devotional service. And so much, because what is going to happen at the end of Virat Roop meditation? You have a chance to get deviated and be caught in this material samsara. While you're worshipping Hari, what is going to happen? Instead of Virat Roop meditation, if you're going to directly worship the Lord Hari, what is going to happen? He will directly take care of everything, anima, lagima, the powers. He will immediately take care of it for you, and you will not be bewildered by that. But when you do Virat worship, he will not take care. Virat Roop worshippers, they are not devotees. There is a tinge of devotion, of course. Any process, Prabhupada mentioned, service attitude has to be there even for a Virat Roop meditator. But they are not devotees. Devotees means worshipping the personal feature of the Lord, means transcendental form of Lord Hari. He is a devotee. Bhajaseveya. So ultimately, at the conclusion of the Virat Roop meditation, what will one have to conclude? Prabhupada is saying, so you are going to get back these siddhis, my dear. How are you going to take care of that? You are going to come back again to this material world to enjoy that and be stuck in this process of birth and death. So there is a chance. Of course, it's a chance, dear devotees. Not all Virat Roopers will fall prey to the siddhis, Ashta Siddhis. We don't know, but there is a chance. That's why Prabhupada is recommending here. Why don't you directly worship? Not Prabhupada, even Sukadev Goswami, we saw different verses that ultimately says the final conclusion. So why you can't go to the final goal directly instead of going through an indirect path? Again, at the conclusion of this Virat Roop meditation also, what a devotee has, what you have to conclude. Why do so much of hard work by meditating on Virat? Directly worship Hari. He will take care of anima, lagima, whatever siddhis. He will not make you bewildered. That is the devotee's thing. He is worshipping the transcendental form of the Lord. But for a Virat Rupa meditator, will the Lord take care of him? No. He is not a devotee yet. So this is the point, dear devotees, that's being spoken very much in the purport 2.1.39, right? So even that's why, as I told you initially itself, talking about Virat Roop meditation will help us understand the glory of Bhakti. So Bhagavatam, it's just meant for glorification of Krishna, nothing but glorification of Krishna. We know from 5th chapter, 1st canto, Vyasadev's heart was in so much pain. Why? What is the reason for that pain? Because he didn't glorify Krishna enough in his previous words. So now Narada Muni comes and tells him, oh Vyasa, you are in pain, I understand your situation. So let's understand, let's try to analyze the situation. And he helps him understand the reason for why he is feeling that way. Because he has not glorified enough. He has not glorified the Supreme Lord enough. So Bhagavatam is nothing but glorification. That is why it's not different from Krishna, dear devotees. Anything that is spoken in Bhagavatam ultimately leads you to have faith on Krishna more and more. Develop bhakti more and more. So the objects that are created in the dream, as I told you, they are based upon karma and samskaras. So whatever, again, those are created by the Lord based on the karma that he is having. And this person, he's only watching those. Actually the dreaming man is not the creator, but the creator is only Ishvara. The objects are created for him. Jivatma is not the creator. Any objects are created based upon the karma and the samskaras. Whatever he is having is given to him, and he is only watching those. So the material creation, Prabhupada says, is also exactly like dream-like creation of the Lord. He is being the transcendental super soul, is neither entangled nor affected by the reactions of such dream-like creation. He is always in the transcendental position, but essentially he is everything and nothing is apart from him. Prabhupada is also establishing differently, but here dreaming example is being given. We have to understand for what. How that expert yogi is seeing everything, whatever is happening in the Virat, to explain that point, we are taking the dreaming example. So the Jivatma, who is seeing the objects, who is having a dream with many objects, he is the seer. That is why we brought this dreamer example to say that this person, many objects are created in the dream, and that person is just, the Jivatma is just observing that dream. Okay. So Prabhupada is giving another point here. Sometimes Prabhupada also gives us add more to this. He's saying material creation is dreamlike creation, meaning according to Advaitiyans, this material world is a dream. But in what sense Prabhupada is calling this as a dream? In the sense of temporariness. Okay, that is how we are different. Dream means what? It is there for a time being and finished. So similarly, according to Prabhupada, why that I'm trying to correlate the dreaming example to what Prabhupada brings it up in the purport. He says, what dream means? Dream means it's there and it's finished. Similarly, this material world is also there and it's finished. That is why he brings that example for dreamer. Okay, dear devotees. That means when you are in sleep, you are in ignorance. Then you will be having the dream that you are enjoying this, you are enjoying that. But when you come out of the ignorance and sleep, then nothing is there. Similarly, till the time you are entangled in this material world, you can't become a Jivan Mukta. There will be pain and pleasure in this material world. But when you realize you are the soul or you are the self, nothing is going to affect you. Sukha, dukkha, labha, alabha, jaya, abhaya, whatever, victory, loss, nothing will affect you. So again, with regards to Advaitiyans, the point is whole different. They think that this world, they think that this material world itself is a dream. But we understand the temporariness of this material world. Everything has a beginning and end. Like that material world also has a beginning and end. So that is the point that Srila Prabhupada wants to talk about in this purport. So I think we are getting clarity, now. Sukadeva Goswami, so here, it's just the beginning of the chapter. So I'm thinking we will get into the chapter as we go through in the next class to understand the theme and the verses starting from verse number 1 and go to verse, till the time, whatever the next verses, I'll cover everything from second canto, dear devotees. So I just wanted to tell you at the end of first chapter, the glory of bhakti is revealed. Why a Virat Roop meditator, what according to Srila Prabhupada, is going to get a lot of siddhis because of which there is a chance for deviation. So why go through this process? Instead directly worship Hari. And even for that Virat Roop meditation to work, a service attitude or devotional attitude is necessary. Without a tinge of devotion, even that Virat Roop meditation, you can't get the tamas and rajas out of your heart. Okay, so those are a couple of learning points that we have, and then we'll see the other verses in the next class because I think we are running short on time. We will conclude here, dear devotees. Hope it's okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripasindhubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Great. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. Mataji, when we are talking about dreams, some dreams, are totally, we can't understand and correlate ourselves to the dreams. Some are not connected at all to our present condition of life. What can we interpret from those kind of dreams?
Prabhuji, I'm not like a specialist in dreams, but I think what I'm trying to, as far as dreams go, it's all coming from the impressions. Either it could be previous impressions, that's previous birth. From there it's coming. So there's always a correlation there in terms of samskaras. Because otherwise dreams won't come. Just like that. Even though we may not be in the current position, we may not be that person, but previous samskaras are there now. So that could have an impact on now today's dream. But when we start spiritualizing our body, those dreams are also going to be favorable towards Lord. It would be like, oh, I'm going to get darshan of Guru Maharaj, I'm going to get darshan of going to the yatra. It will turn like that. Because the eagerness is there for the devotee to do so many things in this lifetime, all that will be manifested, and that eagerness will also be seen and captured in the form of dreams. That is why when a devotee sleeps, he gets dream of Krishna. So that way he's not disconnected from Krishna. You're able to understand. Even in sleeping, he thinks about Krishna and he remembers Krishna and he's not disconnected from Krishna. So the process of devotion is never broken. He is able to remember 24/7 by the mercy of Krishna. So that is why Krishna has to sanction your dreams, because otherwise how you can remember Krishna? He has to sanction. Okay, let me come in your dreams, or let me make you think about Krishna. That's how the pure devotee's devotion is not interrupted. This is what will happen to us slowly, slowly, slowly. That's why Prabhupada, he sleeps for a few minutes. In that time also, he'll remember Krishna only. Nothing but Krishna. Never he will be deviated from that Krishna consciousness, ever. So that's the stage we have to aim. In the dreams, Krishna should come, Guru Maharaj should come. I should be serving the devotees like that. But whatever comes now is due to samskaras. Nothing but samskaras. It could be this life, previous life, before that, but yeah, it's all related.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Are there any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Yes, thank you, Mataji, as usual. Nice class. But I have a question. So we see that you were saying that Krishna devotees are being taken care of by Lord Shri Krishna. So what happens? Because we are still committing sins every day. We are committing in any way, one or another way. We are still committing some kind of sins, like while we are walking on the road, we are stepping on little jivatmas, on a kind of bugs or whatever is there. Or in the morning we wake up and we have hot shower in the warm water we are using. So how many jivdantu we are killing in the bathtub while the hot water is going? So this is something that we cannot stop, because due to our circumstances, due to our place where we reside, where we live. So we cannot, like I'm living in Canada, I cannot take cold water in the cold shower in the morning, right? So some people are cooking. While they're cooking, they're using the wood or anything. So some flies or something come in there. So what happened to that kind of sins that we're committing every day, you know, maybe every minute of our life is being committed. Even when we are breathing in the air, there are so many airborne living entities. So what happens, Mataji?
So as far as those things, I think they talked about it from a karma yogi standpoint. When we are committing sins, a yogi is supposed to do nitya karma, nainitya karma, kamya karma, all that, and then they have to worship every day. To I think it is being prescribed, right, for a yogi, whatever karma yogi, whatever they are doing, how they can combat it. But when it comes to devotee, only one suggestion was given by Prabhupada. As far as the sins that we are not able to avoid, the only thing is Hare Namanu Kirtanam, nothing but just chanting the holy names of the Lord. That is the one that can help us to come out of these sins. Krishna is ready to forgive you for the sins. But again, we are not using the Hare Namanu Kirtanam, chanting the glories of the holy names of the Lord as an excuse to come out of these sins. But that is the ultimate. That is, certain things we cannot avoid, but you can worship the Lord and then just take care of those sins that we are unknowingly doing it. We cannot avoid it. We are not able to go without it. So the only solution there is just chant the glories of the holy names of the Lord, and that will take care of it. But again, we are not using that holy name let me commit sins and then let this be wiped out by the holy name. That is an offense. But we are just trying to chant the names of the Lord, which will take care of the sins. But offense is different. If you are doing Vaishnava Aparadh, you will lose. You will lose taste to basic process of devotional service. You chant, no attraction is coming to chant. Oh, I have to chant, I have to finish. Why? Because so much aparadh. Krishna is not going to forgive you for aparadh. If you are doing aparadh, that is different from sin, Mataji. Sin is different and aparadh is different. Aparadh is a bigger punishment for a devotee. A devotee hankers to get taste to chant the glories of the holy names of the Lord. When he speaks Krishna Katha, he must be enthused to speak. But if those things are lost, that means you are committing aparadh. Krishna is slowly taking, one by one, you are falling from the step. You are so close. You are just close to the lotus feet. And now because of aparadh, you fall down here. And they're just in a question of time, you will even forget Krishna if you are committing more aparadha. So we have to be very careful. There is difference between sin and devotion, and then aparadha. But aparadha is dangerous. As far as sin goes, Krishna says, just worship the glories of the holy names of the Lord. And then that should take care of it. The annoying sins, unknown type of sins that we are committing are just taken care of by chanting the names of the Lord. But when it comes to aparadha, he's not going to forgive you. Krishna, he takes care of you means if you are a devotee surrendered to the Lord, he helps you understand. You need to come closer to the Lord. For that, he may give you a circumstance. But if you're going on committing aparadha because of which you are going through a misery, that is different. So there are two scenarios. One is you are a devotee, you are not committing aparadha, but you want to come closer to the lotus feet of the Lord. He will give you circumstances in your life so that is favorable for your progress in devotional service. That's what taking care means. Taking care means not literally holding in your hands. You could act differently, because of which you can even go away from Lord. Because that circumstance, are you remembering him? Some devotees may just not remember him. So that is a realization each and every devotee have to feel in their hearts. How Krishna is helping me in this circumstance, or how difficulty is the mercy of the Lord, like Kunti Maharani. That kind of feeling is what a devotee should have to anticipate what he's going through in life and how Krishna is there with me all the time. That varies from individual to individual, Mataji. You cannot generalize that. I can be different, you can be different, she can be different, depending upon how we react. But we have to aim to come to the platform of where Kunti Maharani is. That is the ultimate goal of a devotee. How, no matter what, she just wants to remember Krishna. And how in her prayer she is wanting, oh, I want to remember you, so let miseries come to me. For remembrance, she is ready to do anything. Anyways, I'm not trying to take more time here. Hope that helps, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, a sin is committed like when we cannot avoid it, right? Yeah. But we are not doing it purposely. Whereas an offense is something that we commit knowingly, because if we are offending another Vaishnava, that means that we know we are offending someone. But whereas what I said about walking on the road and having some living entities under your feet or whatever, that is okay. That's what I wanted to know, Mataji.
Yeah, that is unknowingly committed. That is all taken care of by chanting the glories of the holy names of the Lord. A sin, can be taken care of by the Lord, but when it comes to offense, he will not forgive you, because the devotees are so close to the heart. You are breaking his heart that he will not allow.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for the nice class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavatpranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful session, Mataji. Thank you so much. I have a question, Mataji. Maybe that might be a basic of your entire session today that you took. So you mentioned that Atma is the observer, right, Mataji? So in which context? Because in Bhagavad Gita 2.22, as per Shvetashvara Upanishad, they are telling that there will be two birds on the tree. One will be enjoying the fruit, the other would be the witness. And one would be attracted towards the enjoyment, all those, right? So observer means that we are also the witness, right? So how to understand that, Mataji?
So there in the 2 point, that person, he's thinking he's the one bird, two birds. That bird is thinking he's enjoying, and why? Because he's covered by this avidya. That is why he's thinking like that. But in the real case scenario, he's also an observer only. But he's thinking he's performing that action, and he's enjoying. He's all the sukha, dukkha. What is this, Mataji? This is all transformation of the mind. Nothing but the transformation of the mind. But he identifies with the mind and he thinks, I am that. This Jivatma, because of the covering of avidya, he thinks I am that. I am the happy person. I am a sad. No, we are not any of that. We are just observing it. So
then we are also in the same state like Paramatma, Mataji. Paramatma is also witnessing. We are also a witnesser. And that's why we are in the same quality. Like,
but Paramatma is disconnected. He doesn't have avidya, but we have avidya. We have the tendency to fall. We have the tendency to misidentify. But he is always separate from material energy.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. And expert yogi would be they know that they are the observer in that purity they would come.
When he becomes the perfected, the process of Virat Purusha meditation, he's able to see everything. That is why he's able to experience whatever Virat Purusha is experiencing. Like experiencer, he's now become an experiencer because of his expert meditation and perfection in the process of Virat Purusha. That's what happened to this yogi. Now he becomes qualified to meditate on the Antaryami of the Virat, which is Garbhodaksha. Because his heart is now purified and it taken, Rajas and Tamas is taken out of his heart because of that purification.
Okay, okay, wonderful, Mataji. Thanks so much for all the details because these were all confusing sometimes.
I have so much to learn, Mataji. I'm also trying to understand. This is so complex for me also. But due to your mercy,
we now got to know the importance of this process, right? Like we are directly going to Bhagavan Krishna, and we are not meditating on Virat Rupa, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, nothing, and we are just heading up to the actual target due to the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, and we should be very grateful. Wonderful, Mataji, and your dream, whatever you explained on that was really amazing, Mataji. Yeah, we really feel as if the dream is really happening. And that's how God give us. Wonderful, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila. Sorry, Prabhuji. Hariya Prabhuji, I'm very sorry. It was not intentional. But one request, Prabhuji. Today, I think Kritika Mataji's mom, mother-in-law, passed away. So let's offer prayers to mother-in-law.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's all chant for her eternal shelter from Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Our Grace Radhika Kasturi Mataji ki Jai.
All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.